Outrage is cheap. Repair is expensive. We will spend where it matters. Hello, I'm Douglas Gosselin, and I'd like to talk to you briefly about the noise in our country. We are living through a moment that pretends to be urgent and is, in fact, repetitive. On both extremes of our politics, there are people who sell urgency for profit. They wear outrage like a uniform. Their slogans promise swift change and deliver delay. They don't want the hard, slow work that actually builds a nation. They want spectacle. They want disruption. They want attention. The truth is simpler and harder. A republic does not rise from fury. It rises from labor, argument, correction, and the stubborn habit of fixing what's broken instead of celebrating the break. The people who shout loudest insist they stand for the future. They trade that future for leverage today. The financiers and shadow operators who back them are not idealists. They are merchants of instability. Their balance sheets improve when institutions wobble. Their profits are the obituary of public trust. This is not a left versus right problem. It's a competence problem, a loyalty problem, a problem of scale and patience. The factories that make our goods, the classrooms that teach our children, the courts that quietly settle disputes, the plumbers who show up at 6 a.m. These are the engines of success. Ordinary, small, stubborn. The extremists treat these things as noise. They treat them like collateral. And while they do, our leaders speak in metaphors of combat. They say they're fighting for families, fighting for workers, fighting for justice. But most of them have never been in a fight, not one that leaves scars, not one that ends in silence. They use the language of war to win the theater of politics. It's time to retire that rhetoric. We are not a nation at war with itself. We are a people at work, or at least we should be. False metaphors breed real violence. We can't afford leaders who mistake microphones for weapons. Words matter. We don't need soldiers in Congress. We need stewards of calm, competence, and consequence. The country does not break here. It learns, it adjusts, it keeps moving. Honest rules bring trust. Trust brings investment. Investment gives families room to breathe. The agitators will not win. They are selling decline. We are buying the future. So what do? We refuse to be recruited by spectacle. We refuse to monetize our sorrow. We return to the methods that make societies durable. We repair, we teach, we invest, we deliberate. We demand competence from those who govern and decency from each other. None of this is glamorous. None of this sells well to viral algorithms. All of it produces a country that lasts. I do not ask you to be colorblind. I ask you to show your true colors. They are not red, white, and blue. They are the colors of work that begins before sunrise, the colors of a parent reading with their child, the dim light in a clerk's office where a permit gets filed and a neighborhood stays safe, the quiet, patient shades of people who show up and do the next right thing, even when no one is watching. If you want the loudest voices to lose, withdraw the oxygen they breathe. Don't amplify them. Find the quiet people who fix things and give them a microphone. Support the teacher who stays after class. Patronize the small business that pays its taxes. Hold public officials accountable with standards, not with outrage. Build local power that can't be bought by dark money. Teach your children how institutions work and why they matter. There is no final, effortless victory, only a long series of correct choices. Each one small, each one compounding. That is the invisible architecture of success. It's boring until it's gone. And once it's gone, history becomes a string of regrets. We have an advantage. Our history shows a pattern of repair. We've survived serious mistakes because most people prefer building to burning. That preference is our leverage. It requires insistence. It requires discipline. It requires patience for the slow, stubborn work of governing. So refuse nihilism. Refuse performative despair. Refuse the markets that profit from disrepair. If you want to be patriotic, be practical. If you want to be moral, choose responsibility over righteousness. If you want to be brave, do the small things that add up. We will be judged by what we leave standing. Let's leave institutions that work, communities that care, a public life worth the price of citizenship. That is not a partisan color. That is our true color. Thank you. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.